All right, dude. Fucking 2020 was a fucking bitch, man.
It really was. It,
Dude, like if a year could be completely messed up, it's fucking 2020. Like we had the protests, we had fucking the U.S. possibly going into like a third world war with fucking North Korea. We had Kobe Bryant dying,
for real.
because with the fucking helicopter.
That's how the
Um,
fucking year started, man. Kobe Bryant died, and then after that, fucking everything went downhill.
and not only that, like, dude, the fucking pandemic, man. The pandemic, like most of all, like screwed up everything.
Yeah, I,
Dude,
I
because
feel like the pandemic is stupid as fuck. Don't you feel
but
like that?
it is. Didn't you get fucking tested positive on the?
Yeah, dude. Bro, my fucking wife and my two kids were positive. And then like I told my boss, I'm like, hey, can I still work? He's like, yeah, man. But I'm
No
like, hey,
way.
but yeah, but then I'm like, so I could go home any fucking time, right? When I go home from work, like, and I could get infected, and
Yeah.
I'm still gonna show up to work and then fucking infect everyone. And then he's like, oh, it's okay. I'm like, what the fuck? Dude, this shit is fucking crazy. I had no symptoms at all, like nothing, dude, nothing.
Dude, when the pandemic was starting to be completely on the news, where everyone was starting to panic, and I remember when fucking was when we started like wearing the mask and shit.
Oh, dude, we were the fucking first ones to wear masks in LA for sure, man.
I know, right? Like out of nowhere, like we were starting to be a little bit more paranoid, because you don't know,
Yeah,
like people are
yeah,
some dirty motherfuckers, man,
yeah.
and they can
I,
be passing shit on to you, but
yeah, I remember we were. I think we were watching. We were seeing the news, and then like it said, like the first case of COVID in Orange County or something like that.
yeah.
And then we're like, oh shit, let's fucking buy all the masks.
Not only that, like we as far as like our store, we ordered a shit ton of fucking like
We
alcohol and
did.
hand sanitizing shit. And then I remember him getting so kind of like a pissed off because we were ordering in such
He
high
was.
quantities, but it ended up being like where every store didn't have shit for
Yep.
a good period of month.
Yep. He's stupid. If we would have ordered a lot more, we would have got a lot more money.
Definitely. Um, but around the same time, I remember in the news saying that for the most part, people would be basically just having a small cold, or basically having like
Huh?
mild flu symptoms, if anything. It's only would be for like the people that were more severely ill, like had major health problems, that would literally be like in critical condition. And for the most part, not really
Uh,
experiencing that. It kind of was, you know, you could say that it was a little bit surreal, where you couldn't really have any foundation on it, and then you got infected, freaking too, man, and
mhm.
he's not feeling shit. Like at
Oh,
the
did
same
he?
time, I'm starting wondering, is this pandemic truly, you know,
Yeah.
truly like a worst case scenario, like at least for the majority of the population, or
Uh,
is it just a little bit too?
it depends, I think. Okay, like he didn't have
Yeah,
nothing, no symptoms at all.
yeah, he got infected. I would say like a good 3 days ago.
You should ask him like you should ask him like, hey, were you sick around like December or January, like super sick? You should ask him that because like a lot of people have told me that they got sick around January or December, like super fucking sick, right? Like I
Yeah,
had this friend that got super sick. He never gets sick, but he got super sick for like a fucking week. And then I'm like, what the fuck? And then this whole pandemic happens, and he's fucking scared and shit. And
yeah.
and he does like he hasn't got it or anything. He hasn't even gotten sick. So I'm like, what if he got it like in January or something?
It could be. I mean, a lot of people were traveling around that time. It wasn't until like the news really hit out that they started
Yeah,
doing like travel to fucking China and any other places too.
yeah. So you don't really know. Like you don't really know. Honestly, since the beginning, I wasn't scared because I'm like, okay, it's like a flu, right?
Yeah,
Like if it was like a fucking disease, like the fucking bubonic plague. Like I would have been, bro. I would have been fucking home every day. I would not go out. I would grow my own food and shit. You know.
Well, you will get like a towards
Oh
your little
shit.
window and create like a little small little balcony and put dirt
Hell
in
yeah.
it.
I'll put fucking newspaper on my windows and everything, make it all dark inside. Fuck that. But since
You
it
add
was a
like
flu, I'm
barbed
like,
wire to it so people won't won't steal your fruit.
oh shit. But since it wasn't that bad, like I wasn't really tripping. But honestly, I got that shit back in March. No lie, dude. I was at work. I was at work,
Yeah,
and then like I got super sick, right? Like I was just sick. Like I had every fucking symptom on the bug, bro. Like it was the first time I ever lost my sense of taste and smell, right?
yeah,
And then after a couple days, like the fever stopped, and I stopped like I stopped like coughing, right? And I stopped all that, right? And then like my sense of smell and taste weren't back, so the store manager told me, hey, like call. So
yeah.
I called, and then we're like, oh, you're okay. That's all you have. Oh, it's okay. And then the next week, the CDC like puts like new loss sense of taste or smell on one of their on their symptoms list. So I'm like, fuck. I'm
Dude,
like, I feel bad because I'm like, I probably infected everyone.
dude, like the fact that they didn't send you home during that time period, it's like these motherfuckers didn't give a shit, man. Dude, when had a slight cough, man, and she didn't show any fucking symptoms, man. She didn't show nothing. The slightest cough of her just in the front, and she didn't come back for like another month, man. Dude, and the fact that they didn't send you home at all, then you showing like symptoms, you showing that you were fucking
yeah,
sick, man.
yeah. It depends. Honestly, it depends because different store managers are different. Like mine,
Yeah,
that motherfucker's an asshole, bro. Like there was a week, like I don't know when, like maybe like I don't know what month it was, but maybe like November, right? I was
yeah.
fucking sick as fuck, right? I'm sure I didn't have COVID though, but I was just sick. Like I was coughing. I was like, I had like mucus. Like everyone could hear. Everyone's like, "Hey, why are you still working?" I'm like, "No one has fucking told me to go home, so I'm gonna keep working." And then like, and then the next week when I was like, "Okay," I told him, "Hey, why didn't you send me home?" Like when I was sick. Like I know you fucking heard that shit. And he was like, "Well, I thought you were gonna, I thought you were gonna." I thought you were gonna take it like a man, man. And I'm like, what the fuck? Dude, that guy's a fucking
dude,
asshole, dude.
dude, what the fuck? You can take like a man.
The different people are handling it different.
Yeah,
Like some managers, they're like scared. They're like, fuck it, go
yeah,
home.
that
As soon as they hear you fucking sneeze.
dude, and I feel bad. Dude, she spent so much time away from work, and to the point where she ran out of fucking PTO, man.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
for real?
like you, um, and um, had to like donate some of their personal time off, their hours that they
Damn,
accumulated, just so she can
damn.
like kind of keep afloat.
Really?
And yeah, and come back on because she wanted to make sure that no one else would get infected.
Why didn't she let her come back? Like, did she test positive or what?
Oh, okay, so she didn't allow her to come back, but it wasn't really because
Mhm,
she asked her, "Hey, go get yourself tested so you can at least come back to work." She
mhm.
spent a whole entire month, man, not getting herself tested.
Why?
Exactly. I was
How?
asked.
Like,
I asked
how?
her, man, and she's like, "Oh, but it's kind of hard getting tested." Well, and the thing is, a lot of places were opening for COVID testing, and she didn't want to get she didn't make time for her to get tested, even though she had the a lot of time in her hands.
That was
So
her fucking fault then.
yeah,
And honestly, I feel like she probably filed for unemployment.
I, I'm not sure if she did file for unemployment, but
I'm sure she would have. Like, come on,
yeah,
like, how are you gonna live like that? There's
yeah.
no
I
way.
mean, like if if she didn't want to get it tested, then
Yeah.
that's on her. But like it was a requirement for her to come back to the store.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel that was like that was handled poorly, or at least on her end.
Yeah, it was. What the fuck? How you gonna spend a month like because out because of COVID and not at least go get fucking tested?
Yeah.
She just didn't want to fucking work, man. She didn't fucking work, dude. She didn't want to.
Yeah.
That's crazy though. Honestly, in my store, we have a lot of fucking like we had a lot of people like test positive for COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. Well.
Like you know what happened to me?
Yeah.
So let's say like on Thursday, right? I got tested. Like I got tested like at my store, right? And then like I was waiting for the results, and basically the company that the store works with, like they don't work over the weekend. So I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, I'm not gonna get my results until like Monday or Tuesday of next week. So I went to this place where my wife got tested with the kids, and then they give you it's a rapid test, right?
Yeah.
So I went there, and then I did my test, and then like on Saturday, and then they told me I was negative. Hey, that shit hurt. It's the one that goes all the way up your fucking nose.
Oh, fuck that one.
That shit hurt, man. And so I tested negative on that one, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm fine. Like I'm good, you know.
Yeah.
And then next week, I come back from like my 2 days off, right, on Tuesday,
Yeah.
and then like my boss checked my results, and he was like, oh shit, you're positive. And then I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And then he's like, oh, but you tested Saturday and you're negative, right? So you're okay. And I'm like, I'm like,
Wow, they dismissed the second test and they got with the
yeah,
first.
yeah. And I'm like, are you sure, man? And then he was being a little fucking asshole about it. Like, I told him, I'm like, okay, that like that's fine. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like that, I my most recent test was negative, so I'm like, I'm probably fine, right? And then like I told him, okay, that's fine. Like I'll still work,
Yeah.
but I want to get tested again. And then he's like, I don't know. Let me ask the district manager and see what he says, right? And then he comes back with some bullshit answer saying that, oh yeah, the district manager told me he told me that there's limited amount of vouchers for team members to get tested. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like what? I feel like he was just making random shit up in his head, right? And I'm like, really? And he was like,
Dude.
yeah. And then I'm like, okay, so if I call like center right now, like what would they tell me? And he was like, oh, they'll tell you they'll go with the most recent test, which was negative. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then after that, like we stopped talking, and I was working, right?
Yeah.
And I was fucking pissed off, bro. So I was I was going around the store, and I was telling everyone, hey, I'm positive. Hey, I'm positive. And they were like, what the fuck? Why are you still working? I'm like, hey, my boss said it's okay. And then I went to pharmacy. I'm like, hey, I told the pharmacy manager, hey, can I schedule a test today? And she was like, yeah, no problem. And then I was like, what the fuck? Did this guy just lie to me then? And then
Wow.
like I went on my lunch, right? And like I called because my wife was fucking pissed off. Like, what the fuck? Why are you still working? So I called them. Oh, we have to go with the positive, right? Because it could be a false negative. And I'm like, you're putting people at risk. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, like okay for sure, like I get some days off. And then she was like, yeah, I don't know why you're still working there. Like I don't know. And I'm like, I don't know either. And then like she was like, oh, so you have to quarantine for 10 days, and after 10 days you can come back. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, so what should I do right now? She was like, you need to go home. So I went back, like I went back inside the store, and then I told my boss, I'm like, hey, I called. They told me I need to go home, and then he was fucking pissed off, bro. He was
Wow. He was
pissed
pissed
off.
off that you had to go home.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was. I'm telling you, that guy's a fucking asshole. So like I had to go home, right? And then
Yeah.
like he was pissed off, and I'm like, that guy fucking lied to me 2 times to my face. because I had like I talked to another store manager from a different store, right?
Yeah.
And they're in a different district. So that store manager asked their district manager, like, "Hey, is there limited amount of vouchers for team members to get tested?" And they were like, "No, what the fuck?" And then they were like, "A team member could get tested like at our like at any location that does COVID testing for free, no matter how many times." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck?" So that guy fucking lied to me, right? And then he also lied to me about they were gonna go with the previous, with the most recent test, and then that was a lie too. So I'm like,
What
what
the
the fuck
fuck?
did I was thinking to myself, I'm like, did this grown ass man just fucking lie to me to keep me at work? Like, I'm like, dude, you have fucking like 60 fucking employees. Like, what the fuck? How you gonna keep me? Like, that guy's
Dude,
fucking crazy, dude.
dude, if
It's
this
crazy.
were, dude, because the district manager came to our store and he was explaining how serious an infection would be.
Yeah.
That any person infected would have to be quarantined for 2 weeks. No, doesn't matter like if it was an inconvenience that we need to figure it out.
Yeah.
And the fact that he did that, dude, if they were to ever find out, man, dude, that guy will be in fucking trouble, man. You
Nah,
remember what happened to the that other store that they were all in the office and whatnot, and everyone
oh,
got COVID?
the store I went to go help.
Yeah. No.
Where, dude, look, everyone, that was a sketchy situation too. Where like, dude, that whole store, every team member except one, they were all tested fucking positive for COVID, dude. Every single one, even the store manager, right? So like that store is like in a neighborhood like where people live, right? There's not a lot of businesses, but there's a lot of like a lot of people living there, like just a bunch of houses and apartments and shit.
Yeah.
And like, so like you can imagine, like there's a lot of like regulars that come in the store. So like all the regulars, like they saw a bunch of random people working there and they were like, "Hey, where's so and so, where's so and so?" I'm like, "Oh," I'm like, "They're on vacation." And I'm like, "Why?" Dude, all the regulars were asking like, "Hey, what happened to the old staff? Like, what happened to them?" and, and I'm like, "Oh, they went on vacation together." Like, fuck. That shit was awkward, man. I'm like, only one
Dude,
person
did they
didn't
not suspect
catch it.
that, they got fucking COVID?
Yeah, I'm sure they did. There was like, I remember one of the store managers showed me there was this article that someone made that said like, oh, places where there's been COVID infections, but they're still open, and like the store, that store came up in the article. So I'm like, oh fuck, dude, that shit is crazy. Like, it really, like, this pandemic has really shown me that the entire like organization, like, they don't give a fuck about the fucking employees. All they care about is the fucking money, man.
Dude, no
That's all they
corporation will give
care
a shit
about.
about the employees, man.
They don't. But like, this pandemic has just shown me like you hear all this shit, right? But
Yeah.
like going through it, you're like, fuck, they really don't give a fuck about you. They really
Dude,
don't. I've been
dude,
working I've been working there for almost 6 years, and I'm like, I never felt like, fuck, they don't give a fuck about us. But now it's like, damn, they really don't give a fuck.
dude, and that's not even trying to say like, like for us, man, like you know, we have the fucking and out of nowhere they try to fucking save some money and try to like take that shit away from us, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, honestly, they done it before where they done that. Like, they're trying to cut costs, basically.
Yeah, there's some
They're
cheap ass
trying to cut
motherfuckers, man.
costs. They're trying to cut costs, and I'm like, fuck, they're fucking assholes. I don't know. It's fucked up, honestly.
Yeah.
It's messed up. But what are you gonna do? You know what I heard? I heard that like they say like are not achieving expectations or have any like disciplinary, any writtens or final writtens, like they're gonna get let go.
No, wait,
Yeah,
wait, what?
yeah, yeah, Yeah.
Oh fuck, man.
Do you have any?
Nah,
And your
not
your performance review was more than 3.0?
yeah. My
Okay,
performance
good.
was, was pretty good. I mean, I honestly like whenever I get that fucking self review, man, I put fucking fives on everything. Cause
So do
one,
I. So
dude,
do I.
one for the fucking self review, man, that means jack shit, man. Because at the end of the day, they're not basing it off on what you put.
Mm-mm.
So at that point, I'm like, all right. I personally feel that I deserve a fucking five on every aspect, so I put five on that shit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, my she decided to like give me like what was it like a 3.4 3 point something.
Yeah. You know what I did on mine?
But
I give myself all threes, and basically the the two managers that I work with throughout that year,
yeah,
which was one of the managers was the one that we work with together, right?
yeah,
And then the other one that we work with, the other one that I work with was from another store, right? And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give myself all threes. And I done so much for these fucking two guys. I'm like, I'm gonna let them fucking rate me. And if they don't rate me, whew, they don't give me a good score. I'm gonna go looking for these motherfuckers. But they give me a good score, both of them. So I'm like, good little motherfuckers. They better give me a good score. Shit.
well, that's the part that it's kind of like you know a little part of yourself that you're just simply not gonna know with like these different managers because
Mhm.
each one of them like they have like their different perspective of how they rate a person. Some of them are like
Yeah,
really hardcore as far as like, how
yeah,
the rating system is. And the
yeah.
sad
Like,
part is that that's our fucking race, man.
yeah, for real.
They're
But they don't
playing
give a
with our
fuck about
fucking
that.
race.
They don't give a fuck about that. Dude, the guy that I work with now,
Yeah,
he's so fucking corporate. It's fucking crazy, dude. He's like, I don't know. He's so fucking corporate. It's like, what the fuck? And basically, this guy, he's been with the company like basically his whole life, right? So I'm
yeah,
like, so so I'm like, okay, this guy is fucking committed to this shit, right? But I never seen a guy so fucking corporate. It's fucking crazy, man. It's like he's so dedicated. Like when you ask him a question, he'll go so into detail about shit that you're like, what the fuck, dude? Honestly, he scares me. Like I don't want to be like that guy, man.
dude. Like those type of people, man, that are like super corporate, you have to like watch your back on them, man. Because when you least
Hell
expect
yeah,
it, you literally they'll be biting on your ass, man. Dude, did I
exactly.
fucking tell you about what's his face? Uh, that other store manager that became like head of the loss prevention.
Yeah, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So essentially, like I did a very basic thing
Mhm,
at my store, which was do a return for the pharmacist in the pharmacy.
mhm,
And they called me. I came in. I'm like, all right, let me process this return, and then I left. And the technician at the time, took care of as far as like the processing of the payment.
uh huh,
Like 2 days later, I see this motherfucker come in,
mhm,
and he's asking fucking questions left and right. What was the transaction and whatnot, and like he was making this huge ass fucking deal over the
mhm,
fact that throughout the process of them calling me over, the
mhm,
pharmacist trying to do a return during paid hours where she was supposed to be working,
mhm,
and the technician finalizing the transaction. Throughout that fucking process, they for the fucking employee discount was missed.
mhm,
So, and essentially the difference was basically a dollar.
mhm,
A dollar difference as far as what the transaction was.
mhm.
And he was making a huge fucking deal, to the point where it was basically, kind of like making it look like someone was gonna get fucking fired, man.
Mhm.
And honestly, like I've never worked with a fucking guy, but
Mhm.
if I ever fucking did, fuck, man, I would fucking hate myself working at his fucking store and the way that he manages and the way he fucking thinks
How
too,
does he
man.
look?
Huh?
How does he look?
You know who I'm fucking talking about, man.
Is he bold?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. You know what? Like something that's similar to that happened at my store with one of our
Yeah,
and like it was some type of weird like return or some bullshit like that. And then like he made me sit on it like when he was like interviewing like,
yeah,
and I'm like, what the fuck? Is this really what he's fucking talking about? Like, honestly, that made me like, I'm like, these guys, these fucking like loss prevention guys, or I'm like, dude, they have nothing else to do.
dude.
Literally, like that return that it's a.
Yeah,
It was like it was just like it was a mistake. It was nothing fishy, and you
exactly.
know what's even like even stupider was that the dollar amount was fucking less than $10.
Wow.
And I'm like, has she done this before? Like, is this her first time doing this?
Yeah.
And it was. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, are you kidding me? Like, there's nothing else for you guys to do. You guys are investigating little stupid shit like this.
And you
And I'm
want to know
like,
what it is, man?
that's why you're getting paid so much money to do. It's like it's a fucking waste.
Yeah, it is. And you want to know why they are so fucking anal about it?
What?
It's because they want to find a way to get a fucking promotion, man. And
Yeah.
look, the pharmacist who also got fucking interviewed, man,
Uh-huh.
decided to fucking call the district manager. And she brought up all the shit that was going on, all the question that was going on, and the scenario that was on. Dude,
Mm-hmm.
the district manager basically called him and told him
Mm-hmm.
to fucking forget about the fucking case because it was escalated way too much. And
Yeah.
that happened. Like a few days later, I heard that he got fucking demoted, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
His ass got demoted from that position, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was because he wanted to make himself look good that he found
Yeah. Yeah.
something fishy going on in the story, and then
No,
he solved it.
you know what those guys want to do? They
Mm,
want to get as many like they want to have it on like under the belt that they're like, oh shit, I fired 3 people, 20
yeah,
people, like they want that shit. They want that reputation. Those fucking loss prevention guys, man. There's
dude.
some fucking dude. There's some fucking loss prevention guys that I just look at and I want to fucking slap the shit out of them, man. There's this fucking guy that that I seen. Oh man, I wanna. Every time I look at him, like, I, and I make it known too that I don't fucking like that guy, dude. I want to slap the shit out of that fucking guy. You know why? Because he's a guy. He's like external, right?
Yeah,
That he came in and he's making all this money, and I'm like, this guy doesn't know shit about the fucking about the corporation. He doesn't know shit. So I'm like, what the fuck? How's he doing this job? Like, it didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, what the fuck?
you would think that for a position like that where it does require you to have a high amount of knowledge, especially if you're going to be catching fishy stuff, you need to
Mhm.
know the like ins and out of the
Yeah,
business. Like you would think that they would
exactly.
hire within pure internal, but no, then
Hmm.
these motherfuckers don't care. They don't care, man. They don't care about their fucking employees.
No,
And
they
it's
don't.
sad. They waste so much money on trying to like hire new employees, train them just for them to see the conditions of the business and for them to leave like a couple months later, man. They're just
Yeah,
wasting money. They don't care. They see everyone as replaceable, and that's the sad reality.
yeah,
And because of that, they're wasting money too.
yeah. I mean, that's what we're going through now, right? Like,
Yeah.
they don't give a fuck. So they're like, hey, fuck it. Look, we have this many people making this much. Let's cut it in half. That's what those fucking guys think. They're like, oh shit, wait, there's too many people making this much. Let's take 20 of them out.
Dude,
Cut our losses.
I I've like here and there I've gone to like some other stores,
Hmm.
and I've asked like for example the assistant manager how much they earn.
Hmm.
And you know each one, if they've been there for a while, they're earning they're earning bank. So the amount of money they're cutting from that,
Hmm.
and the amount of people that are going to be either stepping down, leaving the company, or going into those fucking what that
Those
new
stupid
position.
ass positions.
Yeah, like they're cutting so much money from all these employees.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy, man.
and that's exactly what they're doing, and they do it every once in a while. Like this has been done before already, especially to the second highest position, like in a store, which is assistant managers. Literally, like first they were called this name, right? And now it's ASMs. And now it's another stupid ass different name, but they do the same thing. They do the exact same thing. So I'm like, what? They're just changing the name of the position and letting fucking people go. That's
Y-
it.
you want to know what's the sad part? For the
What?
people that they're deciding letting go, they're not even giving them a fucking severance pay, man, because they're providing
No,
fucking options.
really? I heard that there supposedly there was gonna be like some
Nah,
type
man.
of like severance package.
Nah, like if you sat down on the meetings that they were having, man,
Hmm.
they specifically said that they will be providing no severance package, mainly
Really?
because they were providing opportunities for people within that position to find out what they want to do within that career.
Fucking cheap ass motherfuckers, man. Honestly, I was talking to one of my coworkers, right? I'm like, hey, listen, man. If they offer me like a 20K severance package, I'm out, man.
Honestly, yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm out. Fuck that. If they offer me that much, I'm like, dude, that's it. I'm taking it and running it. And then
Honestly, man.
and
Like if
in like 6 months, I'm like, if I want to get a job there again, I'll fucking get a job again.
go back to CSA.
Fuck it, man. Work my way up again.
Honestly, like if well, if they change their mind and they do provide a severance package,
Mhm.
which one I don't think it's gonna be much. But if they do offer a severance package that tends to be reasonable, I think I would take it and just be searching for a fucking new position, man. Because
Yeah.
it's noticeable that they don't really want people to be moving up in the way that they used to.
No.
The opportunities are not there. They don't want really much any person to just go up and get in the position. And in a way, that's how the problem started. They let any motherfucker go into the fucking position.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean that's what happens. Like like a couple years ago, like they like basically like district managers like set a quota for store managers that were doing like hiring. They were like, you gotta hire this many people.
Yeah.
Even if they suck, even if their store managers were like, oh, they fucking suck. Like we don't need them. They still got them because they needed to reach that quota. So it's like it's crazy, man. So yeah, I don't know.
Hey man, did you hear about the fucking government like releasing documents about these fucking AMOs?
About the what?
The AMOs, man, the fucking aliens.
The what? What
The
the fuck is
AMOs, man.
the eight of what?
AMOs.
What the fuck is that, bro? I never heard that shit before. What the fuck?
Dude, the fucking AMOs, man. The aliens.
Wait. How do you say that? Like, how do you spell that shit, man? How do you spell it, man?
Hold up.
El Mayals? What kind of fucking name is that, man?
Dude, the AMOs, man. The fucking
AM.
aliens. Dude.
Hey, that's crazy. They fucking cause hey, did you hear that? Like in the new stimulus like bill, like in the new like relief bill, like they had some shit about like I don't know what agency, but they had have to release like anything they know about UFOs.
Dude, they did. They did it early, man. That's what I'm referring to.
Really,
Dude, dude, I have the documents on my fucking phone that I
dude?
downloaded.
Hey, I want to see some fucking pictures of the fucking aliens, man.
Well,
That's what the
well,
fuck I want to see.
here's the thing. What they released was basically, documents of the Pentagon having records of people seeing it, the military seeing it, their air force seeing it, and they have some photos and videos of of unknown objects floating in the sky,
Yeah.
and that's basically was released from the government. They also have like a section of astral projection, man. I'm like wondering like what the fuck is the government investing on, man?
Yeah.
And what's funny is that the recently the prime minister of Canada
Hmm.
also confirmed the existence of aliens as well, man. But on his end, it's kind of weird, man, because he's saying that there's like fucking 80 species of fucking aliens within like that human beings have encountered.
80 species.
Dude, exactly, man. Like if you
There's more fucking species than fucking humans, man. Holy shit.
I know, right? And the weird part is that all these fucking documents as far as like fucking aliens, man, like just coming out of nowhere,
Hmm.
like you would think that fucking 2021 will be like a very normal year in comparison to fucking 2020. No,
Yeah.
we have the fucking protesters again. Well, a different type of protesters, the extremist Trump supporters that literally barged in the fucking Capitol. We have these documents as far as aliens, man, and then who knows what's gonna happen tomorrow?
Those fucking protesters are fucking dumb as fuck. Like at least the fucking like Black Lives Matter people, whenever like fucking looting shit, they had masks on, you know. But those
Yeah,
fucking dumbass Trump supporters took pictures with their no mask, like nothing, dude. So they're now the fucking government is hunting them fucking down,
dude,
dude. You
dude,
would
they
think that they
have
would be smart, but they're fucking stupid, dude.
dude, they have a bunch of people, man, already they're already like in fucking prison, dude. And you know what's more interesting? All these people, they're proudful people, having the ability to vote and fucking bear arms and shit. Well, they can't do that shit no more. They're marked fucking as terrorists, man. They don't have the right to vote no more, and they don't have a right to own a fucking gun no more, man, for that
they're
stupid ass shit that they did.
they're fucking stupid, man. Honestly, they're fucking retarded. Honestly, you know what? You know what? Like, you know what the political like climate looks like to me now.
Yeah.
Like, it fucking reminds me of like fucking Star Wars. Like when the, like when like when a fucking Jedi Order is falling and shit, and then like new people are coming into power. I'm like, what the fuck is going
dude,
on, man?
dude, fucking Trump is fucking Palpatine, man.
Nah, hey, Trump is fucking being taken down like any fucking angle. Like that motherfucker's been impeached 2 times. Like everyone's starting to show like their fucking hate for that guy. Like it's okay now. It's like after they stormed into like the Capitol building,
Yeah.
like everyone fucking hates that guy. It's funny. I'm like any like anything about him like it's like everyone fucking hates him.
Yeah,
I
he's
love that
he's
shit, man.
just made himself a very unlikable person in general. Not only to like, to America, to the whole entire fucking world, man.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's crazy.
one last piece before like we end this, so we can at least have a good time frame for whenever we upload this on YouTube.
Hmm.
Um, what do you think about the prophecy of the Simpsons? Have you seen it?
Oh, about tomorrow?
Yeah,
That some fucking crazy fucking shit's gonna happen.
dude, it just appears that it's gonna be fucking civil war, man.
It honestly, before like the elections, I'm like maybe, but honestly, I thought about it. I'm like in the biggest cities, like in the U.S., like that shit's not gonna happen, right? But then I'm thinking like the middle states, like that's where I'm
Yeah.
like maybe there'll be like civil war over there. That'd be crazy, man. Would you go fight?
Ah, fuck no, man. dude, dude, I'm my own fucking country. I protect myself. Fuck this country, man. I'm not gonna. Okay, well, in all respects for like people who are very patriotic and whatnot, yeah, good for you. But for myself, man, I come first before anyone else, man.
Dude,
Like
what
this.
about what about when they come? Those fucking Trump supporters come fucking looking for you, man.
Yeah, fuck that, man. I'll
They,
hide. I'll
they're gonna be
fucking
like,
migrate to
hey,
Canada, man.
they're gonna be like, hey, that motherfucker looks like he's not from the fucking US. Let's fucking shoot that motherfucker.
Nah, bitch. Dude, I'll fucking bleach my fucking hair and I'll be like 9. Just so they won't be coming for my fucking ass, man. I'll do whatever I can to fucking survive. I'll camouflage, man. If the sky is blue, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens tomorrow, huh?
Dude, not only that, like literally like fucking people are starting to like get a little bit crazy because they're preparing for tomorrow, man.
Yeah,
Over there in
I know.
the like towards the capital,
Hmm.
literally they had a fire nearby where they had to evacuate everyone from the capital, and I think that was like a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
They arrested a person that had like arms to actually they're gonna want to start some shit, man.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't surprise me that the hate that these people have, they would push it so much that they would actually try to assassinate Biden. It wouldn't
Yeah. You
surprise
know
me.
what?
As sad as it is, it
Yeah.
wouldn't surprise me that one of these stupid ass motherfuckers would
Hmm.
actually go all the way out to do that.
Yeah. You know what? I have a feeling that that's gonna happen too, but I don't want to jinx it. I feel like
Yeah, I personally
someone's
would
gonna
not
try to
want to
do that
jinx it.
shit, and if it happens, then Kamala Harris will become the first like female president.
Oh yeah, she will follow to presidency by default, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that something like that will happen. But
Yeah.
hopefully it doesn't, Even though fucking Joe Biden is fucking old as fuck, dude.
Dude, he has
I'm like,
fucking
how do we
Alzheimer's
have
and
a
shit, man.
fucking how do we have a fucking 70-year-old president, bro? Like, how's he able to make decisions still?
Dude, he has that fucking Prevagen, man.
That motherfucker, he's fucking taking 3 Prevagens a day, dude.
3 Prevagens. Oh fuck. All right. I
Dude.
think this would be a good place to to end it. Prevagen bite.
He starts making commercials and shit.
Oh man. All
Oh,
right,
shit.
man. Well, we'll continue this. Well, hopefully we'll have this up by Friday. In
Yeah.
that case, we'll see how the media sees our thoughts, and
Yeah.
probably we'll get a little bit of hate, but it's okay. Everyone has their opinion.
It's all right, man. It's all right.
But yeah, probably I would say Saturday or Sunday we can do another one just so we can
Okay.
keep this going.
I'm down.
All right, man.
Yeah. Hey, so what's this gonna be called, man?
Uh, good question. We'll find a name for it once we post it.
All right, cool.
Because so far it's just been like left and right from different subjects, man.
All right then.
All right, man. Yeah, I'll keep you posted and I'll let you know once it's ready to be uploaded and what name we agree on.
Okay.
All right, man.
All right then.
Have a good night, man.
All right, you too, man.
All right.